Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Dimitrios Kostopoulos, and I'm the co-founder of Hands-On Diagnostics. And I've talked to you many, many times about different topics and how we will create professional autonomy in the physical therapy industry. I am very, very excited today to introduce someone, a guest that will discuss with us a very important topic, especially for private practice owners. But as a reminder, I must always remind you that in September 21st and 22nd, we have the Private Practice Summit that is taking place in Brooklyn, New York, which is an absolutely spectacular event. And we will discuss how you will build the private practice beyond 2020, because things are changing. So with no further delay, I want to introduce today's guest, who is no other but Neil Trickett. Neil, welcome.
Thank you, Dimitrios. Appreciate it.
Neil is actually a physical therapist for over 20 years. He did own for many years a private practice down in West Palm Beach, Florida, very successful practice. But at some point, from what I gathered, he realized that, hey, you know, in physical therapy school, they teach us nothing about marketing, and without marketing, you can't go much ahead. So he developed this revolutionary, I would say, approach, very comprehensive approach on how to market in an automated way a physical therapy private practice. The name of his company is Practice Promotions, and I'm going to show you a website of his practice right now. Only if I can make technology cooperate with me. There you go. Neil, you know, instead of just talking and telling people how wonderful you are, why don't we discuss something that can be of actual value to the people who are, especially those in private practice, who are watching our webinar today? And here is a question that I have for you. You know, many times physical therapists promote to physicians by doing visits, by doing events, which are amazing and very necessary things. But you see, something that we have seen the last several years is that pharmaceutical companies, for example, they continue, of course, promoting directly to physicians by sending reps in their offices, but they promote directly to the consumer. You have all of the Viagra TV commercials, and you have all of the Stellara commercials, and all the different biologics and medications and pain medications and this and that. So why they do that? Why something like this might or might not be important for the physical therapy industry, and what physical therapists can do about it?
Absolutely. There's so much that's changing, as you had mentioned before. And when we started in the physical therapy world, it was very different. We were very much dependent on doctors. It was all about getting the relationships with doctors and networking with doctors, because you could not necessarily go direct access. You could not get patients without a doctor referral. And the world has changed, and it's changed very rapidly. And so what I saw when I was in practice, because there really wasn't much marketing courses or services or anything like that available to me at that time, kind of had to go and figure it out myself and take different business courses and learn and actually looked at what was happening in other industries. Look at the dental industry, the chiropractic industry. They did a way better job than we did as PT practices at marketing their services. They went direct to the consumer because at that time and now they are able to. And it's changed a lot in PT for the better, where we can go more direct to the consumer now. And it's important that we do, because people because the way medicine has gone, and that the service has declined. Let's face it, going to the doctors, you see the doctor for 3 minutes. So the overall experience in medicine has gotten worse. So people are searching for the right provider to go to, where they can go for help. They're looking for alternative solutions out there. And we need to step up our game as PTs to market direct to the consumer. And you mentioned the pharmaceutical industry. They did the right thing actually back in the 90s when they got laws changed where they could actually start advertising in magazines to start out with and then go to the cable channels. They went direct to the consumer, and they did the right thing. And it's time for PTs to say, ask your doctor about PT, right? So we've seen that's always been our change in philosophy in helping practices market. It's time to go out, and we've got some powerful tools now. We've got the internet, we've got social media, we've got ways to get in front of people that it was very hard to do before and at a high cost. And now we can do it at a lower cost per reach. And but in today's world, people expect more proof. They want to know what others have to say about you, and they need more points of reference today than ever before. So the way that you brand your practice, the way that you connect with people on social media, the way that you gather reviews is critical today to build that overall online presence and bring people through. One of the other areas that I see practices struggle with in building this consumer relationship is they don't leverage the most important thing in their business, and that's their customers. They don't leverage their customer base. And I always ask a practice owner, what do you do to market to your past patients? And it's surprising how very little of that is done.
Yeah.
So again, in shifting the mindset, it's time to really look at providing that customer experience for life. That you have your favorite dentist that you go to, you have a favorite trainer or a massage therapist that you go to. Like why don't people think about their physical therapist that they go to at any problem that starts to arise? So that is created, and it's created by the practice in how they market and continue to have that relationship with their customers on an ongoing basis.
And I will absolutely vouch for that, because in our physical therapy practice, following an approach of direct marketing to the consumer and to past patients, I will tell you that 50% of our weekly referrals are not referrals from physicians. They are patient returns or people who just found us directly from our marketing efforts. And that is so important because it creates less dependency to a referral source. And it puts you in the driver's seat and allows you to be able to make the referral to the physician, perhaps to get a prescription for the therapy or anything. And then, of course, that can translate to more referrals to you. And something very interesting I would like to mention in our other company, our diagnostic company, where the summit that we're doing is part of it. In that company, what we did is we found a few physicians who we are working with, and they allowed us to put in their waiting rooms just a little, not flyer, but a poster, and it basically said, ask your doctor if EMG testing is right for you. If I tell you how many referrals we're getting from patients that they ask their doctors if EMG testing would be right for them, it's amazing. So it is a very valid point.
And I think it's important too to go with the mindset of the patient. So with the patient, they try to do their research now online, and they Google everything, right? So before they even see the doctor, they've Googled a bunch of things about their symptoms and things that they're having. So that they have some things that they've latched onto, like certain ideas, and some things may be wrong, some things may be right. But they're in that doctor's office, and again, the doctor sometimes only has like 3-4 minutes that's actually spent. The rest of the time is with an assistant or a nurse or whatever. So in that situation, a lot of times that patient is asking the doctor, would this be right for me? And what we found too is that we work with companies that do different technologies for PT, and it's very interesting from the marketing aspect that the public really reaches for technology. So if you have some more skilled services in your practice, like certain EMG testing or diagnostic testing, it sets you way above competitors in the marketplace, and people gravitate towards that. So you can actually do, it's a new service that you may advertise. So patients from 2 years ago that had neuropathy or sciatica or some kind of, neurological condition going on, now you're broadcasting, hey, we have these new services. The reach back is pretty incredible when we see that going out. So that is something I would like to convey to everybody out there, that the consumers, the public, is really interested in technology services in a PT practice and how it can help them overcome their problem, their pain, as quickly as possible.
Neil, physical therapists, especially those of younger generations, they are being groomed from the different universities they graduate to look really at the evidence, to measure things, right?
Absolutely.
So how can we look at specific outcomes when we engage in some of these marketing methods? How we can look at outcomes and how we can potentially achieve even faster results with the different things that you can bring in the physical therapy practice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, what we provide to practice owners, we actually, all our websites and marketing systems and tools, we really rally it around a 4-step marketing plan that's very simple for a practice. And one is to hook more new patients through your website. So how is your website funneling people into the practice? And number 2 is creating a massive online presence. So how are you getting your name all over the place on the internet? 3 is creating those patient super fans, so leveraging your customer base. And then 4 is tracking and measuring your results. And so the cool thing today is we have a lot of tools, from Google Analytics to Facebook Analytics, to even be able to measure how the performance is on your website, how many people are filling out forms on your website, connecting with the front desk. There's so many things that are very easy to monitor and measure today, so you can make tweaks and performance. There's even ways on your website where you can track where people are basically looking or stopping on, and you can say, well, that works really well. People are very interested in that particular element or that phrase on the website. So we're going to go ahead and change that on other parts of the website. So there's all kinds of technology today to help you track and monitor results. And at the end of the day, it's not that you need to really get in and get nitty gritty with these things. You're looking for an overview, looking for that 30,000 foot view, because you're busy in your practice, right? So if you can get those main metrics in, then you know, okay, we need to focus a little bit more here, and that's going to help you grow your business.
At the same time, I know, and you know, and the people who are watching this know, that there are other companies out there that they provide perhaps some kind of, I don't even want to say similar, but they provide some kind of product that has the apparency of being similar to your product. Obviously, the reason that we are discussing with you today and endorsing your product is because we have seen, first of all, at HADS, at Hands-On Diagnostics, many of our franchisees are using your product, and there is a collaboration there where we provide you also with some content that the people who are involved in diagnostics can find very helpful to promote to their clients. But what sets your company, your organization apart to your competition?
Absolutely, yeah. And so what we find with most practice owners is they have been using local companies. So they may use a local website company, or sometimes they even get their brother or an uncle to do a website for them because it's cheap and they can do that. Or they may, if they're getting more advanced, they may use a local company to start doing some of the content for them with blogs or Facebook ads, things like that. So that's the majority of the market that we work with, right, in terms of practice owners. So one of the key things there is you may work with a local marketing company, but one of the key things that they don't really understand too well is all that goes on in a PT practice, the PT practice lingo, how the right way that we're trying to approach the marketing, especially again with your own internal customer base. What are the things that are most important to them during their way that they come in through the practice, their time spent in the practice, and then how are you keeping connected with them afterwards? So that's sometimes lost in a company that doesn't really specialize in physical therapy, that may be doing auto parts and they may be doing something else. They really know you as a practice and what the main things that people are reaching out for when it comes to their different conditions. Because at the end of the day, it's not so much about the practice, it's more about their public. Who are they trying to service? Who are they trying to help? And if you know how to speak to that audience in the way that's most important to them to help their own pain and condition and get back to the things that they want to do, that's what's going to resonate. That's what you really need to incorporate in your marketing.
Absolutely. How can reviews help bring more patients to your practice? Because nowadays everybody goes to Yelp, for example, or goes to Google, or goes to somewhere to read some review about your practice. And when people see these little stars, if their insurance will pay the practice, let's say with 5 stars, and their insurance will also pay the practice with 2 stars, why are they going to go to the 2-star practice? They'll go to the 5-star practice. If they went to a hotel, let's say, or to a restaurant, and you have a 5-star hotel, same price as a 2-star hotel, you'll go to the 5-star hotel, right?
That's right.
So what happens about that in PT?
Yeah, so again, this is an area that could be strengthened a lot. And if you're not actively collecting online reviews, it's time to start. And there's some certain ways that you need to do it. Ultimately, you want to do it right there and then while the patient's in the practice. They're having a fantastic day, and you can say, wow, Mrs. Smith, so glad that you're doing so much better. Would you please leave us an online review so more people could know about the results that you got and we can help others? And if there's a way that they can easily do that, although I will caution, it's not a good idea to use your own iPad or device in the practice to collect reviews, because Google actually monitors that and can penalize you. You actually want them to do it on their own smartphone.
Wow.
That way it's unique. And so we have some tools that go right through your website where they can collect reviews and things like that. But you do need what's called a reputation management system, and that basically manages your online reputation. So you can help bring in more positive reviews, and you want to get the negative reviews in too, but you don't necessarily want them to be able to share online, but you do need the feedback so you can correct it in the office. So that's a great tool to have in there. But just for people to realize that, just like if you go to a restaurant, if you go to a hotel, the first thing most people looking at, including yourself, is you're looking at what did someone else say about their experience there. And so it's so important for you to put a lot of emphasis on gathering online reviews, because it does create that instant trust factor. As someone comes and finds you online, they're more likely to click on your website, because one, Google will actually rank you higher when you have more reviews and more consistent reviews. And it doesn't even matter, like if you had 50 reviews, but they're from 6 months ago, that doesn't count. You actually have to have consistent reviews over and over every single week, every single month, and then Google will rank you higher. But then people will see, oh, there's a lot of like ongoing people saying great things about this practice. They're more likely to reach out to you versus other types of services or other competitors.
Very good, thank you. I'm going to scroll down on the website here, because you say, become a marketing master. All right. Here is what happens. Physical therapists, first of all, may see the marketing idea with a little fear, because number one, perhaps they don't want to spend hours or days to study a lot of different books on marketing, or they don't want to spend days in classes or anything like that to become a marketing master. So there is perhaps some fear associated with the unknowingness, of marketing, and the uncertainty on how to do effective marketing. Because yes, of course, somebody can hire someone, spend time, effective enough.
Right.
So how can you and your organization help in that area to ease off the fear of the physical therapist without them having to study really for days and weeks or months to master the area of marketing and still be effective?
Absolutely. So, I mean, I'll be straight up. When I started my PT practice, I thought just putting my name, and my wife was a co-owner too. She's a PT. You know, we'd put our name on the door, and there was a couple doctors in the building, and we would just be set. We'd be so busy. And then the cold hard reality that I faced was that I went to PT school. I went and did osteopathy training too, and I was a great practitioner, but I was a lousy businessman and I was a lousy marketer. So it's the school of hard knocks. You really need to learn that you have to invest in yourself. You have to train yourself. That's the only way to get your any condition better, is investing in your own knowledge. So when you open up your practice, you are no longer a physical therapist. You are a business owner. You are an entrepreneur. And so you have to realize that, and then you have to start training yourself in that way. So you do seek advice of professionals. You do read, you do learn, you do different courses, things like that. You have to take that upon yourself. Practices that we see do really, really well are practice owners that are willing to learn. They're willing to invest in themselves, and they do a lot of other things. And we work a lot with practice owners in consulting. You know, it's all part of what we do. We're always trying to better their results. So there's always monthly calls and, you know, teaching. We do webinars, all kinds of things on a consistent basis. But I'm always learning too, right? I'm sure you're learning always at the same time. So it's one of those things you just got to keep doing. But you do want to look for professionals like yourself that you're trying to connect with and work with and learn from.
Excellent, thank you. And I want to tell our audience that you are part of the agenda and the speakers for the Private Practice Summit this coming September 21st and 22nd in Brooklyn, New York. And you will be giving some pretty amazing presentations on how they can utilize advanced marketing and PR strategies to promote their businesses and become more successful. And those who are engaging in the area of diagnostic testing, you will be also sharing ideas on how they can expand and market their practices. But you have on the website that you have created, you have this free kit. Can you tell us a little bit about what exactly is that?
Yeah, so all people have to do here is they just go to practicepromotions.net/diagnostics for PT. So that's diagnostics for PT on the end there. And we'll actually mail to you a free PT marketing kit. And so this is loaded with lots of tips. We have our cracking the code to more new patients, which includes how to get online reviews and all those kind of good things in there, how to leverage social media, the right marketing budget. So there's a lot of great tools in there. We also have physical samples of our patient newsletters that we do for practices and different brochures. So there's information on that too. And we have email cheat sheets and social media check sheets and things like that. So lots of great tips. And then also by signing up, you get included in a free 12 months PT marketing newsletter subscription. So you'll get that in the mail every single month for you, loaded with practice tips. And so you can go again right to practicepromotions.net/diagnostics for PT to get that. And then I will be speaking at the Private Practice Summit. Super excited for that. Thank you very much for having me. I'm looking forward to sharing. We're going to be talking about the 5 key steps to double your new patients in a year or less. It's very doable with the right plan. And so we'll be going over some of the core strategies on how to make that happen at the summit.
Awesome. And we're very excited to see you there. And those of you who are watching, there will be a link. Actually, you're able to see a link now in your screens, which provides you with the direct site, the practicepromotions.net/diagnostics for PT, where you can order the free kit. Neil, any final words from your side?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's time to invest in yourself. This is a great event. We've been working with practices that have been using diagnostics and the different tools and services that they teach in there, and it's been pretty amazing to see the results that they're having. To bring in this this system, right, where you can have a tremendous return on investment and the ability to bill for a highly skilled service. It's been pretty. We've definitely had some personal friends too that have done it in their practice, and it's been pretty exciting to see. So I think it's one of those things where we've got a lot of wonderful speakers here that you're going to learn how to be very skilled in your practice, take away things from from finance, from marketing, from practice operations, learn about some of the new technologies that are now available to PTs, which were never really available to us before, which will definitely take your ability to market your practice to a whole new level, way beyond having to do doctor referrals and other things that you have had to rely on in the past. So hope everybody can make it to the Practice Summit.
Awesome. Neil, thank you so much. Again, my friends, go to practicepromotions.net/diagnostics for PT and order your free kit. And to register for the summit, go to www.diagnosticsforpt.com/summit. And I hope to see you all in September 21st and 22nd in Brooklyn, New York. And we'll see you there, Neil, too.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thank you,
Dimitri. Thank you so much. Take care now.
Bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye.